Evangelical support of Israel mostly stems from a misquoted verse in Genesis that says, "Those that bless Israel shall be blessed, those that curse Israel shall be cursed," which is bullshit.
If you bless Israel, you will be blessed. If you scorn Israel, you will be scorned.
What it actually says is, "Those that bless Abram will be blessed, those that curse Abram will be cursed." Abram is Abraham's original name. Abraham had a descendant named Jacob, also known as Israel. So they misunderstand this verse. But what's more fucked up about it is Abraham is the father of all Abrahamic religions. So he is the father of the Christians, the Jews, and the Muslims. So the Bible specifically tells you to bless the children of Abraham, which are the Muslims. The Bible's telling you to bless the Muslims, and you are funding a genocide against them. You are cursing the Muslims. So, per your book, God will curse you, and fucking hope he does.
Listen to this Jewish rabbi explain why Muslims have a special connection with God.
Now let's take a look and see what Ishmael means. Ishmael means God will hear him. Well, not surprisingly, Arabs pray, Muslims pray more than any other people. 5 times a day they pray, constantly, because part of their basic heritage that's locked into their name and into their identity is this idea that God will hear them. And it's a tremendous advantage they have, because we have to be on the right track for God to hear our prayers. But God listens to them in a different way.
Muslims are perfect monotheists. It's a fact of Jewish law that we believe that they worship the same God that we do. In the past, we've called it by different names, Yirei Shamayim, which means the people who have fear of heaven, Ger Toshav, or Bnei Noach, the children of Noah, or during Hellenist times in Greek it was called Theosebea, that this refers to the great number of non-Jewish believers who came to sacrifice the Qurban Shlamim in Jerusalem together with the Jews. Salamai, Muslimai, Muslimi. This could be a clear indication in our literature that Islam is an ancient religion dating back to the time of the Second Temple, or even earlier.
Many of the Jews, when they go to the Wailing Wall, they say, Muhammad, Muhammad.
וכולו מחמד דין, זה דודי וזרעי בנות ירושלים, חיכו ממתקים, וכולו מחמד, 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 מחמד.
In fact, recently there is a rabbi, chief rabbi in Israel, who have studied Islam.
Yes.
And now he went back to the original scripts of the Torah.
Yes.
And he found out that indeed Muhammad is the last and the seal of the prophets.
If you believe that Muslims are not your...
I proclaim the name of the Lord Jesus Christ over the capital of Texas. I stand against and the Prophet Muhammad.
You may not be in love with Jesus, you may not be a Christian, but I'll tell you this much, if you don't know, Muslims love Jesus. There is no Muslim who is proper, who does not love Jesus as a prophet. Oh, there is another monotheistic religion which would try and pit the Muslims against the Christians. Real Christians, not the fake Christians, not the Christian Zionists, not the who buy into the Schofield Bible.
Do you guys know about the Schofield Bible? Early 1900s, right around when the Federal Reserve was founded and the Balfour Declaration happened, right at that exact same time, the Rothschild family hired this dude, this pastor in the Deep South. He made a new version of the Bible called the Schofield Bible. He wrote this new Bible that has all these new interpretations of the text. So they didn't change.
Jewish influence.
Yes, literally. That's where Judeo-Christianity kind of came from. And the idea that Israel is, this modern Israel thing, is the Israel of the Bible. It came from that Bible. And the Schofield Bible was funded by the Rothschild family. And then it was pushed because they owned the publisher that publishes like all the books. I think it was Oxford Press. And so they had the deals that they could make to get that Bible into all the mega churches across whole denominations of Christianity. And
whatever manipulation you may buy into, if you believe that Muslims are not your allies or your friends when they are proper Muslims, which is important to note, proper Muslim.
It says Muslims believe in one God. They believe that God created the world and mankind comes from Adam. First of all, the unity of God is a central point in Islam. Similar to the way that Jews believe in the oneness and unity of God. Meaning that we have no physical depiction, God doesn't have a shape, it doesn't have a nose. He's one infinite, invisible being. That's the way that Muslims regard God is similar to the way that Jews regard God, as one eternal, merciful, compassionate, almighty, all-knowing, just, and forgiving God. Like Judaism, they also don't believe that there's any mediators necessary to get to God. You don't need to speak to anybody else in order to pray to God or to worship God. They also believe in personal responsibility, action, and the eternal nature of the soul. In mosques, you will not find any images at all. The only thing that you'll find close would be words from the Quran, not images, because anything that's an image takes away from what's real. And just like in Judaism, we don't depict God or in some senses creations in certain ways. In Islam, it's not even in the form of pictures in the mosque. That Islam is not considered idolatry. Here's what he says. He says, the Ishmaelites, Muslims, are not idol worshippers at all. All idolatry has ceased to exist from their mouths and hearts, and they attribute the proper oneness to God with no blemish. And if someone will say that the house that they worship in is an idolatrous shrine, the Kaaba in Saudi Arabia, which is those who go there today and bow there today have their hearts dedicated to heaven, towards God. However, in attributing oneness to God, they have no mistake at all. Full-on monotheism. But the doctrine of the Trinity is much more theologically problematic for a Jew, and therefore a Jew entering a church would be more restrictive than a Jew entering a mosque.
Why do Muslims call God Allah? I mean, it almost seems like it's a different God that they're praying to.
No. It's the same. It is the same word. In fact, it's not only the same word. It all comes from the word al, which means powerful. And therefore, there are many names for God in the Quran. You'll find not only Allah, but you'll find Ilah. I'll explain the difference in a moment. You'll find Rahman, would say in Surah 19, just like in Tanakh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The name of Allah consists of 4 letters. That's Alif, Lam, Lam, and Ha. When you take the Alif letter out, now you are left with Lam, Lam, Ha. That right now will be spells Lillah, meaning everything belongs to Him. Now if we take out the first Lam letter, you will be now left with Lam and Ha. That is spells Lahu, meaning everything to Him. Now if we take out the second Lam, you will be left with only Ha, which stands for Hu, meaning the ones whose identity is hidden and no one knows but Him. The structure within the name of Allah is very linguistic, that even the void of your vocal cavity even enables disabled mutes to say it easy. No matter what letter of Allah's name you take out, the essence of Allah remains.
But it's so close that, for instance, let's take the name Ilah, okay, which means God in Arabic and in the Quran. That word, it operates exactly like in the Ten Commandments. You shall have no other gods on my face. Saying, La ilaha illallah. There is no God, meaning false God, but Allah, the true God. So we use the same name. Of course it's the same God. And I just say it, Christians who say that Muslims do not worship the God of the God of Abraham, when you say that to a Muslim, you are making yourself look like a complete idiot.